Let's move to Braelmer here. Braelmer, the warrior lord. This guy, I saved him for last because he has probably one of the most powerful specials, I think. We'll talk about this here. So Tempest slash range one enemy, 9 damage on hit, plus the effect of move 3, then deal 3 damage to another enemy in one of you. Then you will move 2, then deal 2 damage to another enemy in one of you that took no damage this turn, so it can't be the same one that you already hit. And then you move 1, then deal 1 damage to an enemy in one of you that took no damage this turn. So basically, he's just going to go around, start slashing everybody around with this ability.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we'll talk here more, but basically Braelmer here is a very high damage tank. I guess I didn't mention that he is a tank character. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing more damage than Jirana, which was known as one of the higher damage characters in the past. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be taking that title from her.
And I mean, just the amount of movement that he's able to do, like, because tanks, it's all about positioning. And getting him to be able to slide into so like many places, really can put him where you need him, and that's going to be solid. So not only is he going to do a bunch of damage, but he's going to be able to fit into where he needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, just even with this ability, right? He's able to essentially move 12 places on one turn.
Yeah.
And still be able to attack.
And do 15 damage.
Yeah. So, yep, that's a very good ability there. You got to split it up though. That's the one thing. It can't just all be on the same person. All right.
Yeah, he's not going to be the one that goes in and just kills.
No.
He's going to just take down your whole party.
Yeah. Don't save it for one. All right, Battle Mastery, range 2, 1 enemy. You are blessed and ignore cursed. 5 damage on hit, so very low damage there, but you get the effect of move 1 the target, and you are shielded 3 once per turn. So,
jeez.
Yeah, let's talk about this one. Yeah. Because a lot of people probably don't realize how good shielded is, but basically it's just a standard 3 damage reduction. Whether you hit, you miss, you're taking 3 less damage. You get this once per turn, so you can mitigate quite a bit of damage over an entire round. Just with this ability.
Including residual damage, which is something kind of new. The Tanares of being able to even reduce that 5 residual damage. Now you're only taking 2.
Yeah. Shielded is a new condition that didn't exist before Tanares. And so, yeah, Shielded 3 going to be helping a lot. Because actually all the other tanks, well, sorry, not all the other tanks, but many of the other tanks either have toughened or they have protected in their primaries. In fact, Sir Eric has protected and toughened. But most of them, yeah, it's one or the other. But nobody has a primary-based shielded out of the tank characters. So... very good.
Yeah, and before shielded, toughened was like, man, you get toughened on your tank, and you're just gonna be even tankier because every hit you take 3 less damage, but like residual damage still does 5. Yeah, and now it's just -3 damage all the way around.
Yep.
So he doesn't hit like a tank, no pun intended, with the 5 damage. But man, getting it you're blessed, so you're probably gonna get the attack off. You're probably going to get your shielded. You're probably going to get your 5 damage, and you're probably going to move the target 1.
Yeah, I mean, really the biggest thing I think for this is you you're very assured that you're most likely going to get this attack, and you just need it to just take less damage for like the next round.
Yeah. You've used Tempest Slash already to put you into a good position. Now you just want to sit down, squat, and hold that.
Yep. All right, let's go to his special Sword of Death, range 2, 1 enemy, 15 damage on hit. You move 8, so a lot of movement right there. All enemies in any one straight line from you take 8 damage. Pull 8 each of them.
So crazy.
So this one kind of reminds me of, isn't it the Gaknek has one like this, Dragon Breath? Except it's like based on range. I think somebody else has an ability kind of like this.
I mean, this is like closer to Shadow Grasp because you're like pulling enemies.
Yeah.
But
that's
dude,
a health transfer on that one.
The thing about a straight line is it's forward and backwards.
Yep.
So, like, if you position this guy right, you're pulling, 2 or hopefully 3 people all the way in to touch your tank, which is exactly, again, where he wants to be.
Yeah. Well,
and you can be pulling them through lava, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, with move 8 and pull 8, basically you can pretty much go anywhere you need.
Right.
Like range of 8 movement is pretty much the entire, like most of the board, right? Like I'd say it's like over a third of the board just to move. Actually, now that I think about it, it's 24 squares, so it is a third.
Yeah.
Math works. All right. Now the best one here. No escape from my blade. Range 1,
and there
1
is
enemy.
no escape.
There is no escape. Drawback. This attack cannot be copied, removed, or regained, and cannot be used out of your turn. So a lot of qualifiers there. 0 damage on hit, but you get this really ridiculous effect. A temporary...
That's okay.
Just before the start of your next turn, if the target is in one of you and has 50 or less HP, it dies. Otherwise, run 8 to the target and make a basic attack with empowered 18. So basically, if you get this, then you're getting, 24 damage, even if you can't get the qualifier there.
Which you should never not get the qualifier.
Well, it's possible, right? Because so basically what happens here with Barelmer here is Barelmer is he is going to attack somebody with this. He puts this effect on him, and then he has to essentially, right, he's waiting there to the end of his turn. Or sorry, not his turn, his next turn. And then if the target is in, well, actually no, maybe this doesn't go on him. Maybe this goes on the person just before the start of your next.
This goes on the target.
The target. Yeah, so it'd go on like somebody else. Oh God. I don't even know how I just did that, but that was interesting.
Spacebar. The answer is spacebar.
Yeah. Well, it just disappeared into infinity. Okay. Well, anyway, we can read it on here too. But yeah, so he puts this on the enemy. If the target is in one of you and has 50 HP or less. So you just need to make sure that you are still next to that person and they have 50 or less points of health. And then they're just dead when it gets to your turn.
You know what's going to be the killer for this?
What's that?
Portals.
The
teleporters in a PvP match, because you can't run through a teleporter. So all you do is have to hit that teleporter, jump to the other side, and you're safe.
That's true.
From the basic attack, from the insta death.
Yeah,
good to go. And as even the water elementalist, when he can move combatants and everything, like you cannot use that through a teleporter.
It's true.
The one thing I will say though is that combine this with slowed, you're gonna have to rely on someone to move you.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, just some food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just a slow death sentence.
So
Yeah.
he's gonna need really probably help to get this off, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
this one is not really one Barelmer can do by himself, because it's very likely if somebody gets this on their character, right, they're just gonna run away.
And that's really the only option, because like, I mean, 50 hit points, it's really hard to keep a character above 50 hit points. Like,
Yep.
shooters start with 55, tanks are the most at 70. You're talking about 20 points of damage before you're in the danger zone.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to throw this on somebody that's got, 40 hit points. And healing up 10 hit points, that's going to be a real uphill battle for you.
For sure. So yeah, very devastating if you can get it off, though. All right. Barelmer's his hero card here. So normal trigger for a tank. You are shielded 4, which is the same for all the other tanks, I believe, or most of them. If an ally is attacked, you run 8 to the villain. It takes 5 damage. So very fitting for him where he can kind of run around. I think another character actually has almost very similar ability to this.
I want to say Gregory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's been a minute since I played
Yeah.
Tanares.
Yeah.
But I think it was Gregory.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's another character that has something pretty similar to this one. I guess what's kind of real good one here is he can get a lot of shielded.
Yeah, no kidding. Shielded 7.
Shielded 7. All right, so that is the Warrior Lord. Let's move to Huradrin, the Shaman, who is filling in as a healer, but he is still a special like everyone else. Starting with
posing as a healer.
He's a poser. Penumbra Wrath, range 8, 1 enemy, 6 damage on hit, plus the effect heal 5 an ally in one of you. And then choose to move to an enemy in 8, or swap places between you and a combatant in 4 of you, or you heal 3. So Penumbra Wrath there, giving you a lot of options. We've noticed that as a trend since the RPG characters were added in as well, where it's good. I think, this, if anything, makes some of the newer characters more powerful. And I've actually had this conversation with the lead game designer, Michael, a couple times, that just even getting more options for your character, in essence, is kind of a power buff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have more options, strategies you can build, combinations you can mix with. Versus if you only have one option, then you're kind of just stuck with it, even if it does maybe more damage or it does more healing.
Well, yeah, look at Tarim is one that comes to mind, right? Like,
yep,
6 damage, 8 healing, best, one of the best healers that there is, if not the best healer. But like, oftentimes, at least for me, like effect number 1, I don't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like I don't have those temporary effects that I can remove, and so it's like I do that for the damage and the heal. But in this situation, it's like I have the damage, I have the heal, and then I have something that I can choose from that situationally. It might be better for me to move an enemy 2 spaces, or swap, or heal myself. Like, what situation fits what I need?
Yep, exactly. And I guess what's interesting about this one, too, I mean, you can get out quite a bit of healing, right? Because you could heal 5 to an ally, but they do have to be within one of you, right? So there's 5. Then you can hit somebody with hope, right? So an ally within range will regain 4, but it can't regain HP again this turn. So really, you wouldn't be able to use the same person, but that's an additional 4, so that's 9. And then you can heal yourself 3. So that's a total of 12 healing you can throw out with Huradrin the Shaman. And to top it off, this is kind of what I was maybe insinuating a little bit earlier, or did mention, is since he is a special, you could team him up with Taram or Chiron, Azrael, Nynx, any of the other healers, and be able to put out quite a bit of healing.
That would be a lot of healing. Because I mean, I think of like him partnered with Taram, right? Like, because he, in order to maximize the amount of healing that he's putting out, he heals 2 allies and himself. Spread out. It has to be 3 separate people to do all of those.
Yep.
And then you have Taram, who's going to do a bigger heal of 8 and then hope on somebody else. Yep. And between the 2 of them, they're pumping out 24 healing every round. Yep. That's a lot of healing.
Yeah.
That is a lot of healing.
It'll be interesting to see, to me, what these characters are bringing of interest, especially to the game, is not just, we already have a lot of characters, and we do have some really cool, unique abilities, and we're getting more, which I'm very excited for. But really what I'm most excited for is the fact that now we can start experimenting with this new idea, which they wanted to try, of having essentially like 2 healers or 2 brutes or 2 tacticians, right? Because now we're not breaking the rules, because we have a special, and we have as a class that can be mixed with a team. All right, so Garden of Memories, range 8, 1 enemy, benefit, pull 3 an ally, which would probably be in a pretty good combination with like Penumbra Wrath here. Range, 8 damage, plus the effect, the ally is weakened 3, ends if used. If it hits an attack against an enemy while weakened, it heals 8. So, very conditionalized, I guess, heal, but I mean, you're getting 8 damage on your attack, then a delayed 8 heal. Now that person will do 3 less damage, but they're getting a heal on their turn.
The only thing I don't like about this is that the hit, it has to hit against an enemy while it's weakened.
Yeah.
And it's like, that kind of takes away the fun of it, of like, hey, let's add a weaken token over here. And then if we have a way to clear that off, great. Now we just get to heal 8 and we still do full damage. But it's like, you have to take that drawback of weaken.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the effect does not go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird trade-off, but it could be worse.
It could be worse. Oh, great. All right, Mana Flow, range 8, 2 enemies, 12 damage per hit, plus the effect, move 1, all enemies hit. So 2 different enemies there you can move. 2 allies in one of you, heal 12 and move 1. I think this is
crazy.
Well, okay. Let's hear what your thought is.
My thought is, okay, so you're doing 24 damage.
Yep.
Which is a very respectable amount of damage for pretty much any class. But, I mean, most of your healers cap out at like 20, 22 is kind of the highest.
Yeah, I think Nyx has 22 on hers, but she can get some more.
But I would say the average damage is probably like 12.
Yeah.
Because most of them are like 0, 5, something like that. So like, not only are you pumping some damage, and like obviously you have to have 2 allies next to you, but then you're doing 24 healing. So you're talking about a 48 hit point swing if you pull this off. and you get to move all the enemies one. So like potential lava spikes, just repositioning, scoot them to your tank, you know, whatever that looks like, and then you reposition your allies one, and like one movement can be big, can be absolutely nothing. It's somewhere in between, but that 48 hit point swing is substantial.
Yeah.
Really, it's 52 if you had the hope.
Yeah, true. 52.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get a lot of good position on this, though. That's the biggest thing with that one.
Oh yeah,
especially
100%.
for those allies. So,
but that's
been the conversation of tonight, though, is positioning. Everything's been positioning.
Yep. All right, next up, the Worm. Range 8, one enemy. Drawback, this attack cannot be copied, removed, or regained. Another special qualifier there. 0 damage plus the effect just before the start of your next turn. Choose a 3x3 area. All combatants within that area take damage equal to your current HP value. Max 30 damage to each one.
90 or more.
Like, this is in many ways, right, very similar to like No Escape from My Blade, where that position is so crucial just to even get this ability to do something for you. But I mean, even if you get 2 people in that, I mean, that's 60 damage.
No, nobody has a special that does 60 damage that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Like even when I got smashed with Titanic Power and rolled a natural 20 on it and got the brutality triggered at the same time, it was like 43 or something like that is what it came out to be. I don't know, Code, you probably remember. You're the one that hit me with it.
It was about that number, but still, the point is that like nothing comes really close to even 60.
No.
Yeah.
Forget it. If you happen to hit 3, you do it 90.
Well, but the way that I read this is that you take the total amount of your HP as the max amount, but you can only apply up to 30 to each one. So basically, since Huradrin only has 60 HP, that's the highest you could ever do. That's the way I'm interpreting this one.
I read this as you can do, if you're at 30 hit points, you'll do 30 damage to each combatant that you hit with this.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, because it does say that all combatants within that area take damage equal to your current HP value. So it says to your equal to your current HP value. But the max you can apply is 30 to each of them, right? So you could have, say, 40, right?
And let's say you have 20, 20 or 30 and 10.
Yeah. Exactly, right? So you divvy it that total damage up based on whatever your HP is. So the max you could ever obtain is 60.
I acquiesce. It's less broken than I thought it was.
Yeah. But I mean,
still,
let's face it. There's no other character in the game that does 60 damage on a special.
No, not even close.
I don't think there's any character. I think the highest is like in the 50s, but I don't think there's anybody that can do up to 60.
And he's a healer.
Well, and he's a healer. But like there's a lot of qualification.
Zanuck, if he does fireball and hits all 4 in his fireball, that's the only way that you're going to get 72.
Yeah.
But good luck with that.
Really hard.
Yeah. Now you have to have 4 people in a 3x3 square instead of just, 2.
Yeah.
This again is all about positioning. This is like, I would absolutely love to see somebody pull this off. I think it would be extraordinarily difficult. And if it were me, it would be the panic of, do I run as far away from this 3x3 square as I can, or do I hit Huradrin as hard as I can, as many times as I can, so that I can mitigate as much damage as that's gonna come through this.
Yeah.
That's your two options there, and hope that they don't have, heroicism or something that they're going to use right before Huradrin's turn to pull everybody into that area and move out their combatants.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be a tough one to get off, and at the same time, you also need Huradrin, right, to have, like that max HP. So he would want to try to get this early and make sure that he could actually hit somebody with it. So it's still going to be a tough one, I think. But
reading it kind of sounds like you don't throw down the 3x3 area until it happens. Yeah. So you can't even really like run away from that area. Like somebody,
I mean, the best you can do is separate. Yeah, you got to separate, right?
Yeah, someone's gonna get hit for like 30 damage for sure.
Yeah,
but you try to keep it from 60.
Yep, or just even more.
Yeah,
somewhere between 30 and 60. Yeah. All right. Oh, we almost forgot his card. All right. His effect here, trigger normal as hero, heal for a hero if it was at full HP. Instead, it charges 1 skill token and gains 1 empowered token. That's actually really good.
This guy right here, that's an MVP token right there.
Yeah.
Take him in your PvE. That's great.
That's really good. I mean, charging a skill token is probably pretty decent, but then also getting an empowered token. Very good. Also, he does have a spycraft of 6. So like I mentioned earlier, that can be really good in the city world phase area where sometimes you have to have 6 of a certain stat just to even do that thing. So this makes it so you can just bring him and he will complete that objective for you.
Yeah, overall PvP, this guy's a champion, and it will be the first time that your healer will say, "Let me go first."